After our atrocious C2 Skirk summons, we were able to get her to C2. So we will be doing the God mode today, and something I'd like to do is compare C0 to C1 to C2, see if it was worth it, see if our Skirk really is at least a decent amount stronger. For most of the comparison, we will be using this boss. He does have a lot of stuff going on with res, so the actual numbers Skirk is doing is only going to really be useful to compare how Skirk starts and how Skirk ends, as we continually improve her over the course of the video with different weapons, artifacts, talent ups, and of course the constellations. At least for comparison's sake, this will be our team because it's just what I've been using mostly, though I will at least explore burst DPS Skirk and have a second, on-field DPS here. When it comes to God mode, I basically never compare weapons because it's hard. It depends on how you play Skirk, it depends on what you have, so it's not that valuable, I think. But just for fun, we are going to compare what we started her with, Black Sword, and then move on to Haran and finally Azurelight. I know there are better 4-star options like the craftable one, but I haven't raised them. All right, here we go. Here's the first real rotation. We're gonna go ahead and burst and just kind of look at those numbers. Yeah, okay. I mean, honestly, still really impressive with Black Sword here. Definitely saw some hits for over 100k. It'll be easier to see in editing, of course, but let's go ahead and move on to Haran. You just have to, oh my god, okay, wait. I just saw there was no 200ks with Black Sword, that's for sure. I'm not sure our actual time is going to be better because we need like 3 rotations in both cases. It was definitely faster though. The Black Sword was like 72 seconds. So as long as we're pretty consistent with our rotations, that is another little marker there just without comparing raw damage numbers. And finally, let's move on to Azurelight. Go ahead and burst. Yeah, okay. I think the 200 that was on Haran was like a 236 here. Definitely stronger, I can tell. We're still not going to one rotation him though. Maybe at C2. We'll see. Same exact time as last time, so yeah, I mean, Haran for normal attack Skirk is definitely good. Here are all 3 runs side by side. Might be a little scuffed. I'm going to slow it down quite a bit and try and time up, Skirk strikes to one another. So every time you see at least one of Skirk's numbers pop up, that is the same attack, which I imagine might be a little hard to see as well because, Escoffier and Shinha are both doing off-field damage as well, but I'll try my best. I think with my Skirk build at least, Haran is probably on par with Azurelight because it has 10 extra crit rate, and my Skirk in Azurelight only has 70%, so that could of course be fixed by running Hunter set. I do always have Farina anyway, or just getting better artifacts would help. I mean, sure, we have been farming it quite a lot. We'll see if we have anything better yet. Flower, I doubt we're gonna get something better. We have nearly 40 crit value and 5 attack there. Nope, nothing better. There is definitely room for improvement on the plume though. Let's take a look. Already some promise, 4 sub start, double crit. No attack unfortunately, but still, if it rolls at least primarily into the crit stats, it should be good. There's a crit damage. Flat HP unfortunate. We're not gonna give up yet, but probably also, well, okay. I'm not sure it's worth giving up 12 attack for 3.5 crit rate and crit damage, but... Oh wait, we have 1 roll to go. Whoops, this could be big. Nope, I knew it. I knew it was EM. Damn. 4 sub start, no crit rate. I will roll it and see what... Okay, no. 4 sub start, no crit damage. Sure. Wish me luck. Damn. 4 sub start, no crit damage. Let's see. Nope. I'll check 4th sub here. If it's attack percent, it's not. Crit damage. No. Crit damage. No. Crit damage. No, the sands could definitely be better as well, like under 25 crit value. Some people think it's cringe to focus so hard on crit value, but in Skirk's case, it's literally the only thing that matters, especially on sands because you already got the attack. I mean, sure, if this one like only rolls into crit damage, it would be good. The chances, of course, are basically 0. It rolled once by 8, so we'll see. At 12? No, okay. What might also be interesting is attack versus cryo. She's been rocking an attack goblet because it was like really good, but we have since gotten a couple cryo goblets and we'll see. Yeah, no, they're all unfortunately pretty much as bad as possible. If we get a crit stat here, then we'll raise it, I guess. But yeah, it's an ATR. Might just try and get a better attack goblet then. We have this one here, and 4th sub doesn't even matter. It can't be anything good. We're just gonna blast it. Okay, it's, yeah. Well then, we stick with the attack goblet. From Farina and her 4-piece set, we are getting so much generic damage bonus anyway, so I think it's fine. Circlet is off-piece. We're just gonna go ahead and give her the legendary circlet with like 5% more crit rate. Better. We went up like 10 crit rate. Attack-wise, I'm not sure. I will have the side-by-side here. I doubt we dropped much attack though. All right, here we go. Well, I mean, we can see if we can spot any difference. I doubt we're gonna have much number difference. The only thing is that our crits will be a little more consistent. And yeah, I can tell because he's actually almost dead after the first rotation. I don't think that was the case last time. Actually, don't even need to do any of this stuff. We could have easily gotten a better time if we just didn't do the full rotation, but I did that last time, so I think that's kind of fair. Even so, we shaved off 5 seconds. Yeah, getting a better crit ratio does make a big difference. Next step would be raising her talents, see how much that does. I imagine not a ton, but sure, we'll crown her E for now. But we were very close to one rotationing, so maybe just that little, you know, change is enough. We'll see. Ooh, wait, she's actually doing a lot more damage. I saw some almost 300Ks in there. I don't think it's enough though. Very close though, very, very close. And all right, I think the only thing left is to get her constellations. C1 is a totally new source of damage, 500% of her attack per void absorbed. So the only thing to really compare it to is without them. I'd say the main thing of note here is that this is considered charge attack damage, which does not get buffed from her artifact set, besides the 15% cryo damage bonus that buffs everything. The hunter set does increase charge attack damage. And of course, it's juicy 36 crit rate, which is the main reason you go it in the first place. So when we get C1, which is right now, it might be interesting to check out hunter set as well. All right, here we go. We should be able to see this now. We're gonna burst, and I definitely did see some chunk of damage coming off of him, but it wasn't that impressive. Maybe we didn't crit or something. I'm not sure. Can we one rotation? Wait, what the hell? Did I do something super wrong that time? There's no way it did that little. No, I definitely saw the numbers pop up. They were like 200Ks maybe. Still could not one rotation. I figured we'd be able to one rotation at this point. Yeah, that big burst of damage doesn't do as much as I was expecting. I mean, honestly, we should have swapped out already, but maybe that would be considered actually one rotation. I don't know. It's very close, but yeah, I gotta say that's a pretty mediocre C1. Before we switch, let's take a note of stats. I do expect to be able to get more crit damage because we don't need as much crit rate. That is obviously its advantage. I mean, 3 rolls into crit damage, even with hunter set, we might not have enough crit rate. Oh, we're actually good. We'll have like 98% crit rate when the hunter set is maxed. Yeah, I feel like she's probably gonna be better. We also have more attack somehow. All right, here we go. Burst. Did that do more damage? Okay, wait. Actually, I'm going to do the charge attack there to stay in the mode, but that's something I never did with the other rotations. Honestly, it's about the same, like almost exactly. Yeah, I mean, the chunk damage up there did seem pretty much the same. Yeah, I mean, I am actually just playing a little bit differently with Skirk now and doing a charge attack to absorb the void so we can stay on field a little longer. And even that, you know, still couldn't totally one rotation, because I have noticed from just doing the rotation over and over, without absorbing the voids via the charge attack, she leaves the mode too soon and the rotation isn't ready to start again. They all have some time on their cooldown left. Unfortunately, it is a little late to try and optimize my rotations now, this deep into the comparison, but what I think I can say pretty confidently is that C1's kinda ass. It's definitely not worth it unless you plan to get her higher. Before we get her to C2 though, we definitely have to look at her as a burst DPS. We did go ahead and go back to Finale of the Deep Galleries though. I could see very little difference, if any at all, from hunter set, even at C1 where I feel like it would have more of an advantage, but going to C2, I feel like her signature is going to at least be a little better than. That is of course not to say you need to farm this set, unless you're also a Varissa enthusiast and want her signature as well, then sure, go for it, but yeah. Hunter set is really good. Where is the Rizzler at? How is he not in the exalted ones? Did Cap not use Risley? He did. Mine is only C1, I believe. He'd be our main DPS. Risley also looks fine. Should be like, again, close to 100 crit rate, 200 crit damage. Got the cryo bonus, 2k attack or so. Should get like all the fanfare pretty much. And then we hold E with Skirk, do her burst. That should absorb all 3 voids. It actually did pretty good damage this time, and that's definitely not a one rotation there, which we could almost do. I've never even tried burst DPS Skirk, so we are going to try it again. And sure, we will do her burst anyway, even though it didn't do anything. All right, here we go. Let's try it now. Did we get all 3? Maybe. I mean, yeah, that is a lot of damage. It's over 1 million for sure. Yeah, no, that was actually not too far off from a one rotation. 68 seconds. Pretty good time, honestly. But okay, I think we've seen enough at C1. It's time to go to C2. Her E will give us 10 more Serpent Subtlety, the energy she uses. And for Burst DPS Skirk, 10 more points will be counted in her talent multipliers, which we'll look at real quick. So we can see here at level 8, basically 31% extra attack multiplier per point. So 310% extra multiplier there. For normal attack Skirk, we get 70% attack. And something I hadn't thought about until now is that we still get the 10 additional Serpent Subtleties, which means we can stay in the mode a little longer as well, which will definitely help my previous issue about the rotation being too short. And yeah, we're just going to head back in. So yeah, I can definitely see already there. We started with way more. Obviously didn't do any damage because it's the beginning of the battle. All right, but here we go with the first real rotation now. Hold and burst, and we'll see what this does. Oh, okay, wait, that was way bigger, huh? Interesting. I do want to do it once more because I'm still getting used to this team. But here we go. First real burst. Yeah, that is doing a lot more damage. What? Okay, I'm taking you into my editing program because I need to know that now. All right, here we go. Here's C1. We got a 316 to start, and then I think the rest were 264s. Okay. I'm pretty sure we saw 400Ks at C2. And here's C2 on the first real rotation here. Let's see what that first strike does. 460. Yeah, the first one is stronger, but the other ones were 264s, and these are still 400s. Oh my lord, that is a massive buff to burst damage. Holy hell. I mean, I don't think we needed to come here to say that, because just looking at the dude's health bar, you know, at C1 versus C2, there was a massive difference. But this is crazy. Let's round up those 4 strikes to 409 times 4, plus 470 for the last strike, and plus 460 for the first strike. We get a total of 2.5 million damage. I would like to see what the C1 voids exploded for when we absorb them here. Yeah, there they are. I guess that's 157 there. Oh, that's neat. You can actually see the little void there on the right of Skirk. I never noticed that before. Yep, there's a little strike, and it also did 157. I'm just wondering if those are also eating Escoffier's stacks. Skirk comes right after Escoffier, so no one else can be using them. Is there a way to avoid using her stacks? We're gonna try something a little weird. We're gonna start with Skirk, hold her E, and then swap out and just not do anything. She keeps the energy when you hold it. So yeah, we'll go to Farina do her burst, and then we'll go to Skirk and hold the E, and then go to Escoffier and do her stuff. And then we just go back to Skirk and burst without doing anything else. That looked to be the same damage. I saw the 460s there. What does that mean then? At this point in the recording, I had forgotten that it was only the first strike that did 460k, with the rest doing 408k. That might sound silly because, you know, with editing it seems as if these events took place consecutively, but that's not the case. Anyway, I will spare you the lengthy troubleshooting. The voids do, in fact, consume Escoffier's C2 stacks. Considering we can only absorb a max of 3, and thus 3 void attacks, I'm still a bit confused on why only the first strike of Skirk's burst was stronger. We should have still had a stack for the second strike. Either way, I've decided to not bother with the Willy Wonka rotation to try and save Escoffier's stacks purely for burst, especially because it's an additive bonus. I doubt we're leaving much damage on the table. 408 to 460 is 52k more damage, or about 260k more on burst, assuming we could get all 5 stacks for burst. For voids, it was hard to find a clip of them hitting for non-reduced damage due to the boss's mechanics, but I did see this 73k. Considering with this rotation we're going right after Farina, we also don't have enough time to stack Fanfare, so it's not a direct comparison, but in my original rotation they were doing over 150k, so yeah, I think it's fine to just use Escoffier stacks on the voids anyway. So for now, when it comes to burst DPS Skirk, I'm just going to continue doing the rotation how I've been doing it. I do want to run through floor 12 real quick with burst DPS Skirk as well, just to see if we notice anything different and to have a break from that boss, at least until we get to chamber 3, because there he is again. I'm not sure if I should rip a burst straight away though, to be honest, because, well, let me at least kill these guys first, and then we will. All right, here we go. And we can go to Escoffier, I suppose, and heal up, get some Fanfare, and then do her E, and then rip a burst, and we'll see what that does. Basically nothing. I don't know what happened there. I honestly don't put too much stock in how the rotation goes when we start with full energy, because yeah, by far the hardest stuff now, Stygian, you don't start with full energy. I don't think it matters as much. And even in Abyss, it's only the first floor. We're just going to do that. I don't think we have buffs right now. And the dude has a shield, so also bad anyway. This Abyss is not like the best to try and actually compare anything. There's just too many annoying bosses here. Whatever, let's give it a try anyway. We can pretty much start with the normal rotation-ish. Again, everyone's kind of hurting pretty bad here. We're just going to start with that and burst immediately. Oh wait, no, that's kind of bad. That's right. Even with this guy, he does start with like a bunch of res, so would have been better to probably save it anyway. We can do it again though. Well, we need like, yeah, there we go. He might be dead. Okay, it is a very different experience, I suppose, when your team does start with full energy. For me personally, I like normal attack Skirk more, so that's probably where I'm going to stop with the burst DPS stuff. Maybe with Wriothesley in particular, we can do both. I'll briefly try the split rotation as well, where you basically do the same thing as burst DPS Skirk, and then once Wriothesley's gotten off like 4 chains, you go back to Skirk to tap her E, normal attack with her, and then go back to Wriothesley, and then the rotation starts over. Yeah, I don't think I'm good enough for that. It feels like the rotation is way too long. Maybe we're doing too many Wriothesley combos. I'll try it again. Then we go back to E and do that, but for how long? Like, how long do we stay here now? Because Farina is already ready to burst. It might just be different in this sort of situation because we start with 0 energy. I mean, I can see the vision for sure. It's still Wriothesley being the main DPS, and I just like Skirk more, I guess. I would definitely need to tighten it up. I am trying to jump cancel. I've heard that's what you do with Wriothesley at the end of his charge attack, but I probably need to practice that, which means it's finally time to go back to our original team, look at God Mode Skirk. I don't believe she's getting any better this video, so this is it. We'll see what she can do. All right, here we go. Farina burst. We're gonna do E because that's off cooldown now. We're gonna hold the charge attack and do her burst. Not gonna wait for that. Do that and burst. And here we go, Skirk, tap, burst, and here we go. Oh, wow, he's almost dead. He'll be easily dead before she's done. What the heck? That was sub 40 seconds. Okay, that was pretty damn good. Absolutely obliterated my record. That is weird though, because he was over half dead before she even came on field. Just for fun, we are going back on Dyer. My best time on this boss is 119, so literally the longest you can take without failing. And we're just gonna start spamming away. Well, yeah, honestly, I don't know. Looking at his health bar, it's still going to be close. I definitely messed up the rotation somewhere in the middle there, so I don't know. We might have to retry this one. No way, dude. We only shaved 9 seconds off. 8 seconds off from all that. I want to try it again. Damn it. I don't know why I keep doing her burst now. That was still pretty good, I guess, but we're doing normal attack, Skirk. First real rotation, try like 4 now, I think. Oh, Escoffier almost died there. This one is looking better though. He doesn't have his res now, which is nice. He might start it again soon though. And if we don't get out of there, we're probably going to end up dying indeed. That could have been a really good one, actually. What? What was that? How do you die during a burst animation? No! Every time I hate these stupid freaking water beams. Oh my god. Why do they one-shot? Wow. That's so unfair that it can kill you while you're in your burst animation. Oh, I can't do Q. Q, please? 20 HP left. Just don't attack anymore, please. That'd be Pogger. No, don't do anything stupid. Oh no. I gotta get out of there. What a waste. Oh, might still be a sub 130. I would be happy with that. Can you die? What's going on with you? What's wrong with you? Damn, look at that. 86 seconds. Since we ran through Abyss with burst, we're gonna do it with normal as well. All right, here we go. I'm honestly not going to bother doing her burst because as you can see, it's not necessary. He is already going into his... Oh my god, dude, that's so stupid. All right, what is this, dude? What? Okay, horsey guy. I think this is damage through shield. It is indeed. Oh, wow, dude. That is wrong. That feels wrong. That burst should help, but yeah, we are going to her now and start normal attacking, right? So I do see some like 400Ks in there. That guy got, I'm pretty sure Skirk still had like half of her on-field time left. That's so ridiculous. Of course, we can't end his showcase without the good old Dorito boss. I'll try my best to, you know, keep him alive so that she can do something when she goes on field. Birth. No, he's dead. Damn it. But yeah, that's why I haven't really done Dorito boss. But all right, there's God Mode Skirk. I think definitely living up to the title this time. She just absolutely melted the entire Abyss. It was silly. Let me know what you think in the comments down below though. Dropping a like or subscribing if you enjoyed is always greatly appreciated as well. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.